wanted to make this quick video. One thing I noticed that I myself do when it comes to staying in your desired reality, the one thing that I tend to do is I like to feel the space in between, right? But the gag is there is no space in between, right? Because if you're always in your desired reality, then you're there. If you are thinking from the place of having it versus wanting it, then there is no space in between. You already have it. You're already with your desires. You're already there. You're already in Barbados. Neville Goddard didn't say, you're already in Barbados, but in the meantime, do this, or in the meantime, that's not, the saying. The saying is you are in Barbados, point blank, period, in the discussion, And so the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because, for example, I have a family member who just moved, and my mother was like, hey, do you want to go, check this out, check out this apartment. Your cousin just moved. It's in a nice area, and whatever. And for some odd reason, I don't want to say had an attitude, but I instantly was just like turned off from the idea, because I had already looked at it and I just didn't like the area. I didn't like the neighborhood, but that's not the point of why I had an attitude. I don't know why I had an attitude. Let me just say that. I really don't know why, but I had an attitude. And I'm sitting here like, she's like, you don't want to move here? I'm like, no. She's like, well, it's near shops, it's near the train, it's near the beach, it's near the lakefront, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you sure you don't want to? I was like, no. She's like, well, you wouldn't have to do that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I didn't like the area, and, just a whole host of things. And as she's like trying to get me to think about it, I'm like shutting it down. Now, as I look back, I realized it sounded like I had an attitude, but I didn't. I was perfectly okay. I was perfectly fine, and it's not that I had an attitude. I think that's just my way of staying in my wish fulfilled. And I realized that if I had been passive, like I may have been in previous moments, at one point in time, I might have been like, oh, maybe, in the past, I might have been like, oh, maybe, I guess I could check it out. I mean, why not? It's not like I'm going to be moving into my desired home tomorrow. I should maybe do this. This is something for the meantime, woo, woo, woo. And then I realized I had an attitude, because it wasn't an attitude. I was standing on business, okay? It wasn't an attitude. It was me standing on business. And the reason why I say that it was me standing on business is because that's exactly what I was doing. It just came off very straightforward. It just came off very blunt, but that was me standing on business. That was me saying, no, that's not what I want. No, I don't want to do that in the meantime. I have what I want. I'm in my desired reality. I'm with my desires, and I was just like, but the reason why I started thinking about this is because I'm like, I don't want my mom to think I had an attitude with her, or I don't want, that family member to think that, I'm too good to live over there. No, that's not the case. It's more so just, I know it's not for me. And I know because like I said, in the past, in previous moments, I would have been very passive about it, knowing that's not what I want. Deep down, knowing that's not what I want. In the past, I would be like, I guess so. Like, I would have gone along with it because it's an in-between meantime, in the meantime, do this until your desires arrive, right? But I think what is missing when, I have not heard a lot of people talk about this, but I think when we do that and when we cave to the current circumstances, we set ourselves up to be on a different path. Right? Because if you already have your desires, if you're already living in your desired reality, would you even consider that? Would I even consider living in that apartment? Would I consider being on that side of town? No, because I'm happy in my desired place. I'm already there. I'm already enjoying it. I'm happy. I can't think of going anywhere else because I finally got what I wanted, right? So if that was the case, I wouldn't even be, my mother wouldn't even be asking me this question. I wouldn't even be considering this as an option for me because I'd already be in my desired reality, right? In my desired place. And so, like I said, I realized that, and I guess that was the source of me, I don't want to say rejecting, but just standing firm in what I already know to be true. That was the source of me, and like I said, my mother is someone who is very much on the same wave. I know a lot of people struggle with staying firm and staying persistent until their desires materialize. But this is one thing that she didn't know. All day today, I've been saying to myself, I'm in it. I'm in my desired reality, because I did that meditation I talked about in my last videos, where I talked about, I did the I remember when, I don't want to say technique, but call it what you want. I was meditating at one point and something told me to say, I remember when. I didn't even know this was a technique. Probably heard it, but I've never heard it as a technique. I never heard no one else explain it. I just, maybe in passing, maybe briefly, but it's not something that I would associate with as a technique. It's not something that I automatically knew to do. It was just something that came to me as I was meditating. And I did that, and I felt like I quantum jumped. Like, I felt like I leaped. I felt like I was in my desired reality. And then I realized afterwards, as the days afterwards followed, I realized that, yes, I did quantum leap. Yes, I did shift timelines. Yes, I'm on the path so that the bridge of incidents is going to lead me to that desired reality. It's not, and like, I'm going to link a video of this guy where he explains the I remember when technique. He explains it so much better. But basically, that's what he explains in his video. That's what I did. Didn't know it was a technique. Okay, I just was doing it naturally, right? And so when I did this, I realized, no, this is what it feels like to quantum leap. And then he talks about in his video of, once you observe something, the future forever changes. If you watch Tom Karen, love the Be Something Wonderful channel, I am an avid watcher. He says the same thing. Once you view something, the future changes. And so I use the analogy of a train track. So, before I did that meditation, my future present moment was on this track, right? It was on a certain track. Once I did that manifestation and I felt like I had quantum leaped and jumped or whatever was in parallel, whatever, I saw my desired reality and I jumped to that timeline, right? No, I did not jump exactly to that point where I was there. I was enjoying myself. I was in my home. I was in my backyard, in my pool, enjoying myself. No. That's not what it means to quantum leap and to quantum jump. But what it means is, in the train is going this way. By me seeing that scene in my imaginational stage, or imaginal stage, whatever you call it, I changed the trajectory of the future because I viewed that. And so, when I seen that scene, I felt the change in me. And this is why I said in my previous videos, you do not need to watch any YouTube videos. You don't need to. It's okay if you do, but you don't need to. You don't need to do any meditations. And like I stated previously, because a lot of those desired reality or desired state meditations, they make you picture yourself in time, in linear time, in 3-6 months or a year to 2 years to 3 years out, and it's too far out. It's too far out, and the future is forever changing. So when I did that meditation and I saw myself in the current moment in that imaginal scene, and I saw me in my desired reality, you know what I did? I felt it. I felt it in my whole being to the point where I started crying because I was saying in the imaginal scene how I was so grateful that I was here. I made it. I did it. God got me here. God brought me here. I'm in my desire. It's not a dream. It's real. And it was so real to the point I started crying in real life. Okay. So because I saw that, and because my emotions got involved in that imaginal scene, and I expressed so much appreciation and gratitude, I felt it throughout my whole entire being. And like we all know, the source of you doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. It doesn't know if that was a fake imaginal. It doesn't know. We're just saying these things. Us as human beings trying to understand what the fuck is going on. We're just saying these things. But the source of us doesn't know the difference between, the current reality, the imaginal scene, the desire. It doesn't know any of that. It just knows that that's the destination. And from that point, after that meditation, and like I said, go watch my old videos and it explains everything of that part of that meditation and how I felt afterwards. But after that, my source of me was like, yo, that's our destination. It's like I changed, you know how like you take a wrong turn with a GPS and then the GPS starts to reroute you, right? Because you took a different turn or you missed your turn and you kept going. So now the GPS has to reroute you from where you are now to that same exact destination, right? So because I changed my destination, I changed my route, the source of me is now rerouting. And I felt it afterwards. And that's, and so because that is now my new destination, and the source of me knows that's my destination, because again, I got my emotions all caught up in it. So now I'm like, oh no, it's go time. That's where we are. That's where we're going. That's the end point. Woo. So same thing with train tracks, because I saw that And so also another thing I want to explain is, I lost it. I'll find out. But yeah, so all of that to say, do not be passive. Do not be passive. If you, even let's say you did a meditation on YouTube and you felt the same way I felt after doing that desired reality or state meditation, or the reason why they don't work, the reason why people can do all these affirmations, and I get it now, is because we never got to that point where it changed our whole being emotionally, to the point where it resonated so deeply. We were like, oh no, we can't think about anything else. We can't stray from this point at all, right? So now the source of me has rerouted itself to that destination. And now if anything else comes up around me as far as circumstances, if they come up and it's not leading me directly to that destination, you know what happens? It gets instantly ignored. Instantly ignored. I automatically know this is not for me. This doesn't align with my desired reality. Now, the bridge of incidents is going to automatically unfold before me to lead me. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to automatically just wake up and I'm going to be in that place of my desire. No. But I am going to start taking steps, because that's where the source is leading me. It's rerouting me. Now I'm on the new route. And I know with my I'm going full steam ahead, right? So, for example, being passive is like you're en route to your destination, but instead of, so let's say the destination was like to go get something to eat. Let's say you wanted Culver's, right? And then you stop off at a McDonald's on the way to Culver's. You're not even going to have room to eat the Culver's because you stopped off at McDonald's, right? And that's what I mean by being passive and in the meantime thinking. In the between time thinking. There is no in the meantime. There is no, oh, your desire is coming, it's coming, but let me do this right now because I need it right now. And if I don't do this right now, then I'm never gonna get to that point. No. And it's not even what you want. You gotta stand firm. You gotta stand firm. You gotta stand firm on what you want, on what you know to be true. And no one else knows that truth but you and but me. Only person who knew that I've been going. But yeah, so long story short, if your destination is Culver's, you should not be stopping off at a McDonald's. You should be persisting to Culver's, because guess what? Culver's is waiting for you. Culver's is waiting for you. Okay, they're waiting, because if we keep telling ourselves, oh, what I want wants me more, yeah, they're waiting on you, because you claim that to be yours. You claim the burger to be yours. So they're waiting on you to come and order the burger. Okay, it's more than enough for everybody. So yeah, and so that's the conclusions I came to today, and that was me realizing, like, yeah, that's not what I want, you know. It's not at all what and like I said, when we do these quantum leaping, quantum jumping meditations, when you do these desired reality meditations, the purpose of doing them is so that you see it, you feel it, you know it to be true, you know it's yours, you claim it, you resonate with it, you do all that stuff with it, and then you let it go in a sense where I don't need to do nothing else. I already am there. I quantum jumped and quantum lumped. I quantum jumped and quantum leaped. And when I say this, I mean in an example of this. If this is a train track, right? If I'm on a train track and I did these meditations and I'm there and I feel it in my soul of souls, I feel it throughout my whole body that I'm in my desired reality. What that truly means, to quantum leap, quantum jump, to see your imaginal, what that truly means is that you have changed your trajectory. Now, instead of the future being laid out the way it was going originally, you've changed a different direction, and now you're going in a different direction. But in order to still get to your destination, because you're not just gonna wake up and have your dream car outside your house. You're not going to wake up the next day and see your dream car outside in your garage, right? So for some things, yes, but let's just stick with reality here. This is where you actually, stay in reality. But in the event that you wake up and you don't say, oh, I don't have no, you don't do that. What you do is you say, oh my God, I feel it, I saw it, and you keep, you should not, let go and be like, oh, I didn't get no, you're on the path. You're on the path. You're on the yellow. It's like being on a dirt road. And then after you quantum leap, quantum jump, or do the I remember when technique, or you meditate and you see your imaginal scenes and your desired reality and all your desires, and you see yourself happening, now you're on the yellow brick road. So even when Dorothy and them was on the yellow brick road, when they stepped on the first brick on the yellow brick road, were they already in Oz? No. If that was the case, the movie would be 5 minutes long, right? The journey would have ended right then and there, right? Am I right? Yes. So that means you have to keep going on the yellow brick road, knowing that eventually it's going to lead you to Oz. You know Oz exists. You know that this road leads you there. You know that you're on the road. You've seen yourself on the road. You've seen yourself in Oz. Why would you get off? So don't do no in-between time. Don't do no mean times. Don't settle for something for now because your desires are not here yet. They are here. They exist. They just have not materialized. But we don't look for the 3D for confirmation. We give the confirmation to ourselves. So, for example, when my mother asked me, oh, you don't want to just move here? You don't want to... No, I don't like it. It's not for me. I didn't like the area. I don't want an apartment no more. I want a house. And you gotta stand on it. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, I'm standing 10 toes down. Oh, I'm standing on business. Are y'all? Are you though? Are you really? Because last time I checked, you were spiraling. Last time I checked, we were spiraling. And don't get me wrong, I've done it. I'm talking to myself, just talking to whoever sees this video. But I'm just saying, you have to stand on it. You have to stand on it. And the cool thing about standing on it is you don't have to explain shit. Not even to yourself. Even if that was me being like, you know what? Maybe I should just go and try to get an apartment, because I don't know when my house is going to materialize. I don't know when I'm going to be moving into my desired house. I should just get an apartment, for the time being, in the meantime, in between time, woo. I should just do that. No, I shouldn't. Because what's more important? Something I don't want now or everything I want later? What's more important? The circumstances that you clearly are not favoring you, or or is your desires important? Is the circumstance more important than your desires? Does the circumstance have more power over you than your desire? Is your lack of persistence more important than staying consistent? Is your lack, and again, we all know you don't even have to believe it. You don't even have to believe it. You don't. You need the faith of a mustard seed. Just say the word, and it's yours. And I realize that for me, this is what has been stunting my manifestation. Me, and not staying firm. I don't give a fuck how bad your circumstances are. If you stay solid, if you stand on business and say, nah, these things don't affect me, because I promise you, and that's like, for me, the beautiful thing I said about that meditation that I did when I did the I remember when technique is that because I felt it so deeply and I resonated so deeply with that, I don't even have to deny any of these circumstances that are unfavorable or anything that comes up that's not automatically leading me to my desired reality. It becomes, what's the word? Irrelevant automatically. Okay, so if anybody watches anime, and if you watch Demon Slayer, if anybody knows Zenitsu, and you know how Zenitsu goes into like this OP mode, and he's like not even it's like he has this secret like killer inside of him, and so whenever it's time to battle, he automatically turns into like OP Zenitsu, and he goes cool, and then he wakes up and he doesn't even realize that he just went OP. That's your source. That's the source of you who already knows that they can do it, who already knows that they have the power, who already knows that the circumstances don't matter because I am source and there is no other. I am God and there is no other. I am all that there is, right? Same thing. When my mother called me and she was asking me all these questions, when I say it felt like I had an attitude, and I realized it afterwards, and I was like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't think I really had an attitude. No, it wasn't an attitude. It was the source of me standing on business. I didn't even have to step in. I didn't even have to think about it. The source of me stepped in for me. The source of me was like, nah, we good. She good. She good. It spoke for me. To the point where afterwards, I started remembering, oh, shit. Oh, I don't want them to think I was mad. Like, and then I was, like, irritated about some other shit. So, I'm going with my source. I'm going with my higher self. I'm sticking beside him. That's my man, and I'm sticking beside him, okay? So, like, when I tell y'all, source took over, and it was so subtle to the point where I didn't even recognize my tone and my energy and how I was coming off until afterwards. And that's why I decided to make this video, because I was like, why was I so irritated by her questions? Because the source of me knew that, nah, we good. She good over here. Thank y'all. That's exactly how my source answered. And I want, whoever sees this video to know that it's not rude. It's not mean. It's not none of that. And the people who love you and know you and, ride with you, they will not take that as that. And like I was saying earlier, you don't have to explain. Like, I didn't have to explain to my mom, well, mom, I did my meditation and I saw my desired place, and it's not at all what you're describing or where my family member lives, so I don't want to move there because I didn't have to say any of that. I didn't have to say any of that. It was just automatic, bro. I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. And guess what happened? I'm still there. Still standing on business because I know what's for me. And I'm the only one who's supposed to know. Everybody else is going to see the materialization of it. Everybody else is going to, but I ain't got to explain nothing. I don't have to explain my disposition, my tone, none of that. I don't have to, none of that. I just got the confidence. And what's funny is I didn't even have to step in. I didn't have to think about how to answer. I was just irritated. I was just like, nah, I don't want it. Like, stank face and all, nose turned up. Like, when I tell y'all, I was just so irritated. And it came out of nowhere. But I realized that was the source of me stepping in and not allowing me to go to McDonald's when we know we're programmed to go to Culver's. When the source of me knows there is no in-between time. There's no such thing. Don't create circumstances because you can't stay persistent. Circumstances are being born out of our lack of confidence. And again, we don't even need to believe, but the lack of knowing. The lack of standing on business. Okay? Because like I said, it's been times where I would have folded. I have folded. How do you think I ended up here? And I'm like, and I keep telling myself, I can't afford to not stay persistent. I can't afford to not trust and let things unfold. Allow your desires to unfold. Allow the bridge of incidents to work. Allow your source to lead you and guide you on the steps and the paths to take the actions to get you to where you need to. Allow it. We say we want these things, and in the next minute, in the next moment, we're already giving up. We're already like, well, I don't think I deserve this. Well, I don't think I'm worthy. Well, I don't know how it's going to come. Well, I don't have this. I don't have that. Lack. So I hope this video resonates. And like I said, I'm making these videos to document how things are unfolding for me. And like I said, I really believe that meditation resonates so powerful, so deeply within my soul. My source woke the fuck up. Like, I was regular Zenetsu, now I'm OP Zenetsu, right? I'm OP, don't even know it. Like, yeah. So I'm making these videos to hold myself accountable. Like, okay, I'm saying it and I'm putting it out on the world. So you need to be doing it as well. But yeah, and I know sometimes it can get boring. I know sometimes it can get like, well, where's my design? No. I know sometimes it gets like that. Don't ask. You don't need to ask where. You know where it's at. It's in here. If you got to go sit on the toilet and close your eyes for 5 minutes and be like, ooh, I remember when. But now I do this. And you stay there. You stay there. You stay there. You do not let that feeling go. You do not let that images go. And you keep adding on. You keep saying, oh, you know what? When I get there, I mean, not when I get there, but in my desires, I'm going to and keep adding in. Keep adding in more shit, bro. Because the more stuff you add on to it, the more your imaginal scene is going to become more greater in detail. The more energy and focus you put towards your desires, the stronger the attraction gets. The more, and like Tom Karen says in his videos, everything already exists because there's no such thing as non-existence. So if these things exist, they have no other choice but to appear before me. If I know that my desired car that I want, they don't even make it anymore. They have not made any in the last couple of years. So that means they made one specifically for me. And it's out there and it exists. And it's waiting for me. It's connected to me. It knows of me. I know of it. I've seen it. I've driven it. I've done everything you can do with it. So that means all I need to do is allow it to come. Allow it to come. Allow my source to guide me to take the actions and the steps to where I can wake up one day and the key fob is in my hand. And it's in my driveway. You know, we're gonna get, that's the destination. Allow yourself to stay on the yellow brick road. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Just stay there. If Dorothy would have gotten off the yellow brick road, the movie would have been 50 hours long. Because if she would have kept, and you notice how she did. She did. Dorothy kept getting off the yellow brick road. She kept going other places. The yellow brick road led her other places. But if Dorothy would have just been like, nah, I'm not fighting you monkeys. I'm not, you know, but along the yellow brick road, it wasn't just Dorothy's desires. If it was just Dorothy's desires, she would have stayed on the yellow brick road and she would have went to Oz. It would have took like 5 minutes. But because she was with other people who had other desires, like the Tin Man, he wanted a heart. No, the lion wanted a heart. The Tin Man wanted a brain. You know, the Scarecrow wanted a brain. The Tin Man wanted oil, and the Scarecrow wanted a heart, right? So they had all of their desires. When they stayed on the yellow brick road, everyone got what they wanted. Everyone, and Dorothy was the last one. That's why they ended up in Oz. Everyone got their desires because they stayed on the yellow brick road. They were singing, they were happy, they were swapping stories. They were, do what you gotta do. Just like I said in my last video, Source told me, let it go, release it, and go pet your fucking dog and go wash some dishes. And you know what that meant? That meant go appreciate your now moments, because why? Everything's about to change. You're not even gonna be in the same place anymore. So appreciate where you are, appreciate the people who are with you, appreciate, you know, what you can do now. Because where you're about to be is about to be so different. You're going to look back and be like, oh, I wish I wasn't so anxious. I wish I wasn't so worried all the time. I wish I could have just relaxed, because I still got what I wanted. You're still going to get what you want, but you can do it with or without anxiety. Okay, so I'm going to link the other guy I was talking about. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'm going to link. He has 2 videos. One where he talks about anxiety and worry and how negative emotions don't affect your desired outcome, and the I remember when technique. So peace out. You know, stay focused, stay persistent. Do not give up. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.